Hello and welcome back to Vincent's bike ride for day 2, part 2 of my ride in New Zealand heading north. This time we're continuing along Glenmurray Road. First, you might notice something different with this video, the audio. I made a mistake. Hence, I'm calling this episode the episode of errors. I won't dwell on this too long because this is more of a stupid mistake I made. But with this camera setup, the earlier videos I was recording straight to a Zoom microphone, or handy recorder as they call it, the H1. It's a good little microphone, and I record straight through a lavalier mic. This is I clip onto my edge of my shirt or my lapel or something as I'm cycling along so I can talk. So on this one, I decided instead of recording straight to the Zoom, I'll record straight to the camera. This would just mean that audio is synced all the time and I have to deal with that, because on yesterday's videos there was some audio syncing issues because other issues. The camera stops after half an hour and restarts when you're on the 360 camera, which is the camera I can move the viewpoint around, and I didn't know that happened. So yesterday my videos had some weird cuts in them and then the audio was out of sync and I had to massage it to make it work again. It was a bit of a pain, it took a lot of time. Fortunately, I'm doing this quite a time after the fact. This is because I was rendering these videos as I went along, and for a half an hour video on the 360 camera, the camera that turns around all the time, it takes about 2 hours to get the video to a usable fixed view. You've got to convert it from the camera that's looking everywhere at the same time. So I can't actually edit all the videos every day. I don't have the time. So producing the videos to put on to release is nigh on impossible without taking quite a lot of time off. But anyway, I changed my audio setup so I'd save on at least the hassle of the audio. And then also, being this part was, I think, it's not the most exciting scenery, and the camera is now the 4K camera, which is a fixed point camera, which I attached to the front of my bike, to the pannier rails, or the bag rails. So it's not the most exciting video, because it's this fixed view, and I thought I'd not talk as well, funny enough, because I wanted to speed the video up. I thought I was getting way too much footage. So now you are getting audio because I'm voice over, because I'm talking about it rather than just having the ambient noise. Because when you speed up the video to 2 times and render it out from the camera, the audio goes away. I didn't realize this, and I actually done a few more videos like this, so that was a bit of a mistake. All I have to do is render the videos at normal speed, and then the audio will remain, and I can always speed up the video in post-production in the editing software. The problem is, of course, rendering the video takes twice as long, because if you render it twice the speed, it renders twice as quick. But anyway, that's enough me dallying on about stuff that's not really important, just enough to know that I made a mistake and there's no audio. So instead you get this voiceover. So we're heading along this road, Glenmurray. I keep thinking Glen Massey for some reason. I'm sure it's Glenmurray. We're heading down this road and we're heading towards Churchill Road, which we'll turn off on. Which is not too far down this road, I think. We should be there in, I don't know, another 5 minutes or so. This was written actually a fair bit of time ago now for me. By the time I'm doing this voiceover, so I'm not 100% recalling what I should say here, so I won't talk too much. Hopefully you'll enjoy some background music. There's no ambient sound or traffic sounds today, I'm afraid, for the first part of this video, but don't worry, later on there is some audio back because I didn't render it twice the speed. Coming around this corner, we see in the distance ahead of us we'll soon see a truck appear over the crest of the hill. There it is. That's a hill I have to go up naturally, and I think this would be the first hill of the journey actually. I can't think of any from yesterday. It was pretty easy going. So we'll see how we cope with the first hill. It does feel somewhat faster, I have to say, when I'm watching it at double speed in voiceovering. I guess I'm doing around just under 20 k's an hour, so this would be equivalent to just under 40 k's an hour, 40 kilometers an hour that is. But here we come to the first rise of the ride. How will I do up my hill? Or the hill. The first hill. Come on, you can do it. As you see, I'm suddenly slowing down. Actually, the bike started skipping, felt like out of gears. There's actually a portent of things to come. I have more trouble with the bike skipping like this. But on this case, I managed to get back on and get going again. Of course, I've lost a lot of momentum, so it's actually hard to get going, as you can imagine, especially if you've ridden a bicycle. It's also a very hot day. The sun's blaring down on me, and I was feeling quite hot. So I crawl up this hill, and where these trees are, I actually go across the road, you'll see in a minute, and actually just have a bit of shade and a drink of water and gather my thoughts and continue on. And we make it to the top of the hill and have also reached the Churchill Road junction, so I veer off to the right and head downhill. Got a nice bit of speed on now. As you can see, there's a lot more hills around now, so the riding does get tough. A couple horses there, horsing around like usual. They never do anything good, those two. And these slight rises, I managed to keep my speed up by going faster down the downhill stretches. So this is going along quite nicely, I felt. I was quite happy with the ride. And the New Zealand countryside whizzes by. Very dry this time of year, of course it's late summer. And the more further north I go, the more dry it will get, I imagine. Now as I crest this hill I can see some, oh, sorry, not this hill, I'm getting ahead of myself, I think it's this next one. We'll wait till what we see. But yeah, I'm sure I come around this corner and I see some gravel ahead. There it is, and I think it actually looks pretty solid. Here's it in real speed. What happens when I hit the gravel without slowing down? Oh, fuck! Fuck! Oh. Yep, I was hitting the gravel too fast. Whew! That was fun. Yes, as you can see, I nearly come off. I hit the gravel way too fast. The wheel hit some of the loose material, dug in, and it flung me around, so I was actually facing back the way I was coming. I went straight across the track. Fortunately, there's no traffic here, otherwise that would have been a real problem. And I was frankly amazed I didn't go down. Sorry about the bad language, but it was a moment of frustration as you're about to crash. But yeah, I managed to keep the bike up, and my bike's heavy, and it was, oh man, it was getting, the angles you can see as it flops left to right. It was, I can't believe it didn't go down. It was, yeah, bit of an adrenaline rush. But then I continue on, and as you can see, we're back on riding. And the gravel, you just got to ride what it is. I try to stay in the hard line. My bicycle has no suspension, except of course for the rubber, the air and the tyres and the spokes. So it doesn't cope well with big bumps and such. Also the tyres, I've put some more, I don't know, more multi-purpose tyres on this time rather than just road tyres. But they're still not great on gravel. They're adequate. You just have to take it a bit easy. So you see I have to veer around what I see as big patches of gravel and just keep pressing on. Generally the whole time I'm in the gravel roads, all I'm thinking of is, I hope this ends soon. I'm kind of bored of being in gravel roads. I don't really enjoy them. I'm a road rider. I remember in Thailand I actually took what I saw as a shortcut to avoid about a few kilometres, maybe 5 kilometres. But I hit a massive pothole and actually broke 2 spokes in the rear wheel. So that was a bit annoying. I got to the town I was going to that day and replaced the spokes. It was no massive drama. It's not hard to replace spokes. And I actually do know how to true a wheel, which is making sure the wheel is straight, which is important, especially when you're running rim brakes, which is brake pads that stop by pushing pads against the rim of the wheel. Modern bikes have disc brakes, so a bit of a wobbly wheel isn't such a big deal for the brakes, because you're actually stopping by pushing pads against a metal disc which is on the center of the wheel, not a part of the wheel itself. So the disc wouldn't be bent by damaging the rim. I imagine you can hear the insects where I'm recording now. They're outside. They're pretty loud. But it is similar to the sounds that I heard when I was cycling, so be it. Oh, they've stopped. The insects, I mean. One good thing, I guess, about this gravel road is very, very little traffic. I'm guessing most people who are in the region have no reason to go down this road. Well, to be honest, this is a back road, it's, as you can see, so not so popular. But of course, there's always roadworks. Don't have to worry about the 30 kilometers ahead sign because I'm going nowhere near 30 kilometers an hour. First, there's a narrow bridge, which I have the right of way on, apparently, going by the sign. But here are the workers. I must imagine they all look at me going, what is this mad person doing? I can't actually see anyone here. Might be up further ahead. Oh, and there's a bit of water over to the right there. I'm guessing this is a stream flowing into the river. And would you look at that? It's a sealed road again. Ah, beautiful. Here's the riders. Oh, he waves me on. The stop sign, he doesn't mind that at all. And they're digging away here. No idea why. Leaving some nice mounds of dirt on the road though. And here's the other end of that section. Another wave from the road working crew. That must be a rather tedious job, especially in a location like this. Just sitting there all day and the odd car coming past and changing your signs. Don't think they'd have much of a rush hour around here. But it definitely is nice to be back onto a sealed road. So while I'm cycling along here, I'm thinking having the camera fixed on the front of the bike on the pannier rail has a very limited view, and I thought, well, mostly I have the camera set to my helmet, or it's attached to the top of my helmet. When I have the camera, the 360 camera, which I can make, see all around me, change the viewpoints, which is a fantastic technology. But on the downside, the picture quality on the 360 camera is not the greatest. It's good, but not great. This camera here, the 4K lens, my camera, you can change the lens on it. This lens, the picture is much better, I would say. It's a much clearer picture, much better depth. But on the downside, it's a fixed viewpoint. So I thought, and you'll see shortly in a few minutes, I'll place the camera on my helmet. This is a very good idea in theory. I thought it would work really well. I get when I turn my head you can see, so if I see something interesting and look towards it, the camera will move there. There was one thing I didn't realise. My head moves a lot, or the helmet on my head moves quite a lot. I don't have the helmet particularly tight. I find them quite uncomfortable. The 360 camera actually has very good stabilisation. Being a 360, the software can really help it to stay stable, so you have a nice flat shot. Apparently this camera lens here doesn't have that same sort of stabilisation. So unfortunately the picture is very shaky. As you will see in about another 2 or 3 minutes, I think. This part there's actually a lot of little white butterflies around. You can't really see them so well, but I thought it might look better than it did, but there were quite a lot here. But yeah, so the camera of the next section, because I shortly will stop for a rest, because I've been cycling for a good, over 40 minutes now since I started this section. And I want to have a bit of a rest and recuperate. And when I start the video again this time, I've actually played it back, or I've got the audio this time I should say. So it's on a separate file. I plugged the camera back into the zoom because I put the camera on my helmet and I didn't really want the wires running up to my helmet. So I've only got the camera there. But as you'll see, because I don't want to speak because I do actually talk during this part, or there's also ambient noise, so I don't really want to do a voiceover. You'll see the camera shakes quite horribly. I'm glad I looked at this footage not too long afterwards, so I didn't try this again. I might try it again, do some testing when I have a chance, when I'm not recording for the channel or for my Vincent's bike ride. We'll try that out at some stage. Maybe I can make it a better fixture on the helmet so it doesn't wobble around as much or something, because I think it would be a better view, but the shaking makes it almost unusable. I'm putting it out because I'm putting out the whole ride, so I'll understand if people skip this episode in general, because no audio at the start except me talking now, and then a very shaky picture for the last, I don't know, 2/5 of the video. But we're coming up now to where I've decided to take a rest. So a nice shaded little area where I'll pull over and have a drink and a bit of a sit down for a bit against this bank. And we're back with the dodgy video. And you can see what I mean about the almost unusable footage. Now I will leave you with the audio as I recorded as I was riding. Enjoy. Again, this is a part now, you'll see in a second, where my bike skips some gears. This hatchie, again, as I later find out, my rear freewheel is skipping.
Oh God!
There it is here.
What happened?
The video sped up. I somehow managed to speed up this video and still have the audio sped up. I'm not sure how.
Good.
Anyway, yeah, so that was portent of things to come, as you may see if you continue watching Vincent's bike ride. Ah, my ever optimistic thoughts. I said I'd never get up this hill, not a chance. Let's see how I do. As we come to the end of this stage of the ride. By this stage I am quite worn out, feeling a bit second hand. And this is quite a steep hill. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, the camera does flatten out the hills. So this is coming to Pukekawa, it said on the sign. So this is also the place where I'll have my next break after this hill climb. The hills aren't long, but they're very steep. They make it a struggle to get up. Especially for someone like me who hasn't ridden for some time, and I'm not the most fit and healthy specimen of a man. But regardless, here we are. There's a little shop here where I'll pull over. And hope to see you again in the next episode.